Hey guys, D Smooth here. Just watched Rick and Morty season 7, episode 10, season finale, Fear Nor Mort. And it was about Morty facing his greatest fears. And it was a good episode and all, but it felt a little bit pretentious. This problem that a lot of Rick and Morty episodes have comes across as look how smart I am kind of thing. And this concept of facing your greatest fears, it's a common trope in fiction. And it never really made sense to me growing up, and I don't think I'm the only one who's come to that conclusion. Like basically, the premise is that Morty and Rick jump into this hole that's supposed to show their greatest fear, and they have to conquer it and stuff. First of all, there's no incentive to even do it. Like normally in movies, when you have to face your greatest fear, there's a reward for it. It's something they have to do. Here, there's no reward at all. Morty just did this for no reason. That's just kind of stupid. And so, second, the average person doesn't have a greatest fear. People don't just sit down and just select the things that they're scared of more than others. A normal person doesn't do that. The only person who would have a greatest, per se, fear is a deeply insecure person. That's how phobias are made. That's how people who get arachnophobia and stuff, it starts off as it's usually built within some deep insecurity or some childhood drama or something like that. A normal, healthy person doesn't have a greatest fear. They just fear in general. Well, hey, if you walk up to some random guy in the street, hey, what's your greatest fear? He's going to say, I don't know. He or she's just going to say, I don't know. I just fear. So the concept itself is flawed. And keep in mind, when you're in that hole, you're there forever. You're there forever. That means that every single person who goes in that hole will eventually conquer their greatest fear. So that flex at the end when Rick puts Morty's picture on the wall, it's like, wait, wouldn't everybody eventually conquer their fear? Remember what Rick said way back in season 1 or 2, I forgot which one. Rick said, if you live forever, there's 100% chance you'll eventually do everything, which means you will eventually conquer the hole. If you go in there, eventually you will conquer it. You were always destined to conquer, unless there's a built-in give up option, which I don't think they ever said in the episode. If they did, then I'm wrong, and I'll own up to being wrong. But like, eventually, everybody's gonna beat the hole. It's like it's a fun episode and all. It's like this concept in fiction always bothered me since the average person doesn't have a greatest fear. The only people who do are insecure or mentally off people with phobias and stuff like that. The average person doesn't have a greatest fear. And it's not much of flex since you were always destined to win no matter what you did. You could have, and in all honesty, you could have just stayed there forever. Like realistically, if you lived your life in this whole illusion and you knew it was an illusion, and the whole purpose is to scare you, you're never gonna get scared because you know that you're there. You could just live your whole life there. It's like screw it. I could get into a car accident. I know that everything I face isn't even real. And it's like, oh well, there's a higher meaning behind it. Who cares about the higher meaning, bro? I'd rather just stay here. Unless your fear is that it's eventually gonna end, which it will. Either way, still conquer your fear. It's just. Tell me what you guys think below. Though. It's one of those. It's one of those concepts in fiction that the more you think about it, the less sense it makes. It's a good episode. It's just the concept always bothered me whenever I read this in any book, whenever I watch any type of movie. It's like the average person doesn't have a greatest fear. It's only insecure or mentally off people who do. Anyway, tell me what you guys think below. Like, subscribe.